Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Look, if you are a final year nursing student, or maybe you're just sitting there agonizing while waiting on your results, you are absolutely in the right place. Today, we're exploring a literal game changer of a resource. We are digging into the Ultimate Guide by Freshnote, which is a fantastic NMCN exam preparatory platform. The guide is called 100 Nursing Jobs After Your NMCN Exam, and honestly, the opportunities it outlines are pretty mind-blowing.
So, you've spent years studying, you took the NCMN exam, you passed it. What now? It's a moment of massive relief, for sure. But let's be real, it's also a moment of intense anxiety, right? The pressure of figuring out your entire life and career path in a single moment can feel absolutely crushing. Okay, let's dive into this together and see what your post-graduation reality actually looks like. Because trust me, you have way more power than you think.
You know, for decades, the expectation for nursing grads has been this very straight, very narrow path. The idea was basically you become a ward nurse in a government teaching hospital, maybe you find a local private clinic, or you just desperately try to catch a flight abroad. But the reality? It's this massive, vibrant landscape. This Freshnote guide completely shattered the old myth for me by documenting 100 distinct jobs out there waiting for you. We're talking about roles spanning technology, international NGOs, corporate health, and even high-level entrepreneurship. It's like a whole new world.
To help us navigate all of this, the guide breaks things down into a super clear roadmap. We'll be looking at 1. The post-exam dilemma, 2. Traditional clinical pathways, 3. Emerging nursing frontiers, 4. Going global, and 5. Planning your next steps.
All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the post-exam dilemma, breaking the tunnel vision.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what we're talking about. Looking at the data, your career options aren't just one big hospital block. You've got clinical and primary healthcare making up a solid 30% foundation, but then look at the rest. Tech, entrepreneurship, NGOs, and corporate health carve out these massive pieces of the pie. These are diverse, parallel paths available to you the literal second you get that license.
Moving right along to Section 2, Traditional Clinical Pathways, Building Your Healthcare Foundation.
Let's anchor our expectations with some actual NIRA figures based on current market trends. So a general ward staff nurse, which is the entry point that builds your clinical foundation the fastest, can expect somewhere around 80,000 to 150,000 NIRA a month. But watch what happens as you start to specialize. Going into high-pressure specialized areas significantly boosts your earning potential. A theater nurse can make up to 200,000, and an intensive care unit nurse, who is out there managing critical life support, can see salaries reaching 250,000 NIRA. Specialization literally pays off. Now for the really fun stuff. Section 3, Emerging Nursing Frontiers, Beyond the Hospital Bed.
600,000 Naira. Guys, when I saw this number in the guide, I actually had to double-check it. That is the top-end estimated monthly earning potential for an oil and gas company medic working onshore or offshore in Nigeria. These corporate roles involve trauma care and managing occupational health, and as you can clearly see, they completely shatter that traditional ceiling of what you probably thought a nurse in Nigeria could earn.
What's truly fascinating here is how wildly different your day-to-day reality can be based on the unique skills you choose to develop. Let's do a rapid-fire comparison. An ICU nurse needs ventilator management and critical thinking for up to $250K. But compare that to a telehealth nurse. You are doing remote assessments and using digital communication, earning up to $200K without even touching a hospital bed. Or what about a clinical skills trainer? They focus entirely on curriculum design and training facilitation for up to $220K. It just goes to show your nursing degree is incredibly flexible.
I really want to explicitly call out a major misconception right now. Nursing and business are absolutely not opposites. You don't have to choose between being a caregiver and a business leader. The Freshnote guide highlights some incredible entrepreneurial paths. You could be a health tech nurse consultant evaluating clinical software, or maybe an independent nursing practice owner running a highly profitable private maternity home or home care agency. Your clinical knowledge is a massive business asset. Don't ever forget that.
Let's move to Section 4 and see how this builds into an even wider stage. Going global, your international passport.
5 million Naira. Yes, you are reading that correctly. There's no typo there. That is the top monthly earning potential for a U.S. NCLEX qualified nurse. Your NMCN registration isn't just a piece of local paper. It is quite literally your international passport, and the global demand for your skills translates into staggering financial returns.
And the international routes are incredibly well defined. You have the USA via the NCLEX, the UK requiring the NMC registration with its CBT and OSCE tests, Canada CNS, Australia's AHPRA, and even tax-free roles in the Middle East, or totally adventurous positions working on cruise ships. But here's the thing, passing your NMCN exam is step one for literally all of this, which is exactly why Freshnote provides the preparation resources to support these exact global pathways.
Finally, we land on Section 5, Planning Your Next Steps, Actionable Career Strategies. If you're in your final year right now, the crucial point is getting strategic immediately. Here's what you do. First, identify a specialty or sector of interest early. Please don't wait until you have the license in your hand to start researching. Second, start building non-clinical skills today. Think technology literacy, data analysis, or even medical writing. And third, utilize Freshnote tools to actually pass the NMCN exam, because without that license, none of these 100 doors will open for you.
There's a quote directly from the guide that I want you to read, and I want you to let it really sink in. The NMCN exam is not the finish line. It is the starting block. That is such a profound shift in mindset. You aren't just trying to pass a test so you can finally be done with school. You are getting onto the starting block to build a lifelong, dynamic, and incredibly diverse professional career.
To bridge that massive gap from student to professional, the guide points to Freshnote as your ultimate career partner. If you head over to www.freshnote.com.ng, they have everything you need. They provide NMCN CBT practice to simulate the real exam, a mobile app so you can study literally anywhere, targeted exam-focused materials, an online preparatory class led by experts, and a dedicated study group to keep you accountable. These tools are exactly how you cross the finish line of your exams and reach the starting block of your career.
We have covered a tremendous amount of ground in this explainer today. You've seen the traditional hospital wards, the incredibly lucrative corporate boardrooms, the innovative tech roles, and the massive international stage. And now you know exactly what steps to take next. Remember, the NMCN exam isn't the finish line, it's the starting block. So, the final provocative question I want to leave you with today is, where will your license take you?